Hello, my name is Axel. Welcome to Yas Marina Circuit. I'm here to talk to you about your car track day. Obviously, there are a couple of guidelines and precautionary measures that we'd like you to follow, so please listen very carefully and please follow them throughout the whole event. Please make sure you maintain a safe distance between yourself and everyone else, ideally 2 meters. Obviously, you must wear a mask at all times throughout the whole event. Wash your hands. In every garage, there is a bathroom with its own sanitizing equipment. We only allow a maximum of 5 people in each garage at any one time. And there are precautionary measures in place all around the circuit. These are in line with the government guidelines and you can refer to them on our website. Today's track day will be using the full GP configuration. It's 5.5 kilometers long and it's got 12 left-hand corners and 9 right-hand corners. Today we will be running out of the main pit lane. The circuit obviously is a very disciplined environment, so there are some rules and regulations that we need you to follow. Please make sure when you drive, you always do up your seatbelt for driver and passenger. Make sure you're wearing a helmet and it's correctly fastened. Drivers must park their vehicles in the designated pit box area, obviously not to hold up anyone later on in the session. Please follow all signs, signals and directions given by the officials, marshals and instructors at all times. There is a fuel station located at Yas Marina Circuit, but it only accepts credit and debit card. No refueling is allowed in the pit lane. However, you are allowed to fuel in the pit box, but you must have a fire extinguisher. Before you go on circuit, check your tire pressures, fluid levels, fuel levels, just so we don't have any stoppages on track. Loose objects are strictly forbidden in the driver cabin or trunk. All cars are required to have their own tow hooks fitted. No tow hook means no track access. Wristbands will be given to you on arrival. Please make sure to wear it as it is mandatory to access the circuit. There will be a marshal end of the pit lane that will check your wristband each time. Timing and racing is strictly forbidden during the track day. We're here to have fun. Video recording is only allowed with a mounted camera inside the car. Unfortunately, we cannot have any external mounts on the car. Drivers and passengers must wear sports, casual or racewear and closed shoes. Unfortunately, no shorts. And there is a maximum of 2 people allowed in every car. Any participants found to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol will be excluded and reported immediately. The organizers reserve the right to reschedule driving time in order to complete the event on time in case of any delays. Remember that the circuit is a strictly controlled environment. Please show respect to your fellow participants and please leave everyone enough room on circuit so you can all enjoy yourselves. Be aware of the speed difference between the cars and different driving abilities. Obviously, some cars will be faster in a straight line but might not be particularly as fast in the corners, so please watch your mirrors at all times. If you have gone off track, you can rejoin the circuit, but please try to do so in the most safe way possible. If you leave the confines of the track, signal to the marshals or the cameras that you are okay. If you do not move, we will red flag the session, obviously, so a marshal can attend to you and make sure everything is okay. Overtaking is allowed, however, only overtake on the straights and on the left-hand side. Please only do so when it is safe to do. Watch your mirrors and do not swerve in front of other participants. The slower vehicle must hold their line, put their indicators on and stay to the right-hand side of the track. So, a couple of general reminders. Please keep your speed down in the pits. There are people walking around, so to keep it safe, a maximum of 40 kilometers an hour. Be aware of other vehicles around you, and like I mentioned earlier, please respect everyone on track. Most importantly, please look after your brakes and engine. It's very important you do a cool down lap every 2 laps, just to cool down the car and for yourself, obviously, to relax a little bit. When you do a cool down, please put your car in a high gear, low RPM, and be very gentle on the brakes for 2 laps. Do not stop on track unnecessarily. If there are any incidents, the marshals will attend to them immediately, and if you're stopping on track, it could delay the marshals attending the scene. There are flags and lights around the whole of Yas Marina Circuit. It's the only way we can communicate with you. If you ever see a blue flag on circuit, it generally means there's a faster car approaching, so please watch your mirrors and be prepared to be overtaken. If you see a yellow flag on circuit, it generally means there's been an incident ahead, so please slow down and be prepared to stop in case there's a car ahead. The red light is one of the most important. It generally means there's been an incident on track or the session has been suspended for any reason. Slow down immediately and return to the pits immediately. The white flag is generally a slow car ahead or a safety vehicle on circuit, so please take care. And then the red and yellow flag generally means there's a slippery surface or there's debris on circuit, so again, slow down, look ahead, and obviously act appropriately. Finally, the checkered flag is the end of the session. Please slow down, do a cool down on your way back into the pit lane. Before entering the circuit, please make sure there is a green light end of pit lane and you have been given the clearance and go ahead from the marshal. You can then obviously make your way out the pits, but please make sure you never ever cross the white line at the end of pit lane. Think of the white line as a brick wall. When you're entering the pits, please make your intentions very clear to the car behind. So slow down, indicate that you're going to be coming into the pits, and please remember to reduce your speed to 40 kilometers an hour. Speeding in the pit lane will result in exclusion from driving. Racing other cars is strictly forbidden. Keep a safe distance between yourself and the car ahead, ideally 5 car lengths. It's strictly forbidden to be racing a car on circuit, so if you want to overtake, it is allowed, but please make sure you do that well before the braking zone of the corner. Remember, at the end of the day, we're here to have fun, so drive within your limits of your car and your ability. On circuit, we've placed some cones to help you. There's red, yellow and green cones. Firstly, the red cone is there as a braking reference. It's there purely just to give you an idea of when you can start to brake. Obviously, depending on your car and your ability, it will be different for everybody. Normally, from the red cones, nice and firm on the brakes, brake in a straight line towards the yellow cone. The yellow cone will be an indication on when you can start to turn into the corner. Normally, from the yellow cone, you release the brake, turn in, roll towards the green cone, and generally from the green cone you can start to accelerate and open up the steering wheel. Always watch and listen for any unusual signs and sounds. If you feel something or hear something that doesn't sound right, slow down, cool the car down and return to the pits. If you ever have a spin on track, please remember to hit the brake pedal as hard as you can until you come to a stop. However, on track, we shouldn't see any spins because we always recommend everyone keeps their traction control on for the safety of yourself and other drivers on track. If you do have a spin and you go off the track, you can rejoin, but please make sure you do it safely and there are no oncoming cars. If you make contact with anything on circuit, whether that's a car or the barrier, please switch the engine off. Do not try to restart the car after an impact. Stay in the car unless there's an emergency situation or there is a fire. If you need to get out the car, look before you cross the circuit and please try and get behind an Armco barrier as soon as possible. Give the OK sign to the marshals and wait for them to assist you. Do not return to the car, stay calm and listen very carefully to all instructions given by our experienced trained marshals. Motorsport can be dangerous, so always stay within your limits. That's it from me. Don't forget, if you have any questions, please feel free to come and speak to any of the instructors, marshals, or any member of staff from YMC. Thank you for choosing Yas Marina Circuit. Drive safe and stay safe.